Megan Yvonne. If you're new, if you're returning, welcome back. So let's jump right into today's video. We are talking about oily skin. We're talking about oily skin products, and we're talking about oily skin tips, right? So a lot of the times, if you have oily skin, the misnomer is that, oh, I don't need moisturizer, or I'm gonna skip the moisturizer because that's gonna make my skin more oily. When in fact, it's the complete opposite. Most of the time when your skin is producing a lot of oil, it's because it's dehydrated and it needs some moisture. So it's overproducing. It's producing more oil to compensate for the lack of moisture. Does that make sense? So yeah. If you have oily skin, I would suggest going with your moisturizer first, going and giving your skin that juice, that you know, quench that it needs, quenching its thirst and giving it some moisture just to help build up your barrier so it's not going to produce as much oil. I would suggest going with an oil, not an oil base. I would suggest going with a gel-based moisturizer. One of my favorites currently is the Neutrogena gel-based moisturizer, but I know there are a ton on the market. You just have to find which one works for you and which one works best for your skin. Also, switching from a cream cleanser to more of a gel-based cleanser is going to be your friend as well, because it's going to do the job, but it's not going to pollute your skin, I would say. It's not going to, you know, clog your pores and cause all those issues so that your skin continues to push more and more oil your way. So let's start with that. We're going to start with our moisturizer. The second thing I would suggest, that if you have oily skin and you're like, I don't care what I do, like my makeup is slipping and sliding and you know, it's just looking not like I want it to look. Another thing that you can do is, prior to starting your makeup routine, after you've done your moisturizer, is to figure out the primer that works for you. So for me, I get oily right down in here in my T-zone, and that's the thing that I look for to control where the oil is coming from. I recently picked up the One Size Oil Sucker, and I was so pleased to finally get my hands on it because like it had been sold out, couldn't get it in store, and you know, all of that jazz. But what I find interesting about this oil sucker primer is that it's specifically targeting the glands where the oil is produced. So if you are new here to my channel, welcome first and foremost. But secondly, I am such a big fan of the One Size product line. I really like what Patrick Starr is doing with his line. I've liked his products ever since he did a collaboration with MAC. And I just really feel like he gets it. And he's recently, you know, launching some other things, and he's just like, glam is back. But he gets glam, and I like glam makeup, and I really like his line. But he is an esthetician as well. So not only is he developing product for, you know, that's going to make you look glam and stuff, but it's going to have good for you skin ingredients. And that's what I like about this product right here. I am wearing it today, so I do have it in my T-zone, and I can say that, you know, like it has done really well with just keeping the face looking smooth. I didn't have a problem with applying my foundation, because sometimes if you use a really mattifying product and then you go to apply your foundation, it can get patchy, and we don't want that. So I will say this is a 10 out of 10 so far. I've just been really enjoying it, and I would suggest getting something like this. Now they have a ton of other primers on the market that specifically target oil control, right? But we want something that's going to be mattifying and that is going to have skin loving ingredients. I know right now it's been a change as far as making sure that the makeup that we use has good for you skin ingredients as well, and that's why I have been really enjoying this. Now there are some others that I enjoy. Prior to finding that, I really like the NARS Pore and Shine, and that is going to help control the oil. One thing I would suggest, if you are just oily in your T-zone, only use it on your T-zone. If you are oily all over, use it all over. And less is more. Let me say it again. Less is more, okay? Sometimes we think that this is an oil controlling primer, so I need to pack it on because it's going to control. The more product I use, the more oil it's going to control, and it's going to wind up doing the exact opposite. So you don't want to overpack your pores. You don't want to clog your skin. So a little bit goes a long way. That's another thing that I want to share with you, is just be mindful of your application, making sure that you're not using a ton of product. I know when I first got into makeup, I was just like, oh, this is gonna do this, and you put it all on. I can't tell you how many loose powders I went through because I'm like, oh, I need a bunch of it and I need to bake, the craze of baking. But less is more. It's still going to give you that glam look. It's still going to help you achieve your desired results. But be mindful of how much product you're actually putting on your skin and making sure you build. So starting in thin layers and then building your way up. So another thing that I would suggest, if you are an oily girl, is to go in prior to putting on your foundation and using a loose powder. I don't do this all the time, right? I do this, depending on where I'm going, right? But it is a great technique, and it does help control the oil. It gives your skin like a barrier. So as the oil starts coming through, it's like, oh, I gotta go through the primer. I gotta go through, I have to go through the moisturizer. There's the primer. There's some powder, and then the foundation, and then the powders that you set on top. So it gives you kind of a advantage, I would say, to just help you and help control the oils on your skin. Your foundation, after you applied your loose powder, goes on beautifully. It's a really silky soft finish, so that is a little tip for you as well. It really does work. So I would suggest that you try that. And again, less is more. You don't really have to pack on a lot of product, just like a thin layer, a thin veil to get it on your skin and then put on your foundation. Another foundation that I found that, when I felt like my skin was really, really oily and it wasn't, and I'm like, I need my face to last from not sun up to sundown, but I need my face to last all day. I'm out, I'm seeing clients. I don't want them like, oh my gosh, like, did she roll in grease or something? So I really love the Estée Lauder foundation. It is a tried and true foundation. It's been on the market for years and years and years, and there's a reason for it. It is going to set your makeup. You are going to be snatched. Your makeup is going to sit well, right? Okay, so that's one that I would suggest if you are an oily girl. It is full coverage, so be mindful, right? You don't have to go in like it's a BB cream. You don't have to go in like it's a product like that, or a tinted moisturizer or a tinted sunscreen, because it is going to give you the coverage that you want, but it does really well with mattifying your skin and just keeping the oil under control. Now, for some girlies, what if I'm oily, but I don't really want a matte finish? I would suggest going in with the products that I suggested initially, and then choosing your setting spray. So instead of doing matte, and then a matte setting spray, go in with just like a setting spray on its own. I like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It does a really good job of just melting your makeup all together, but it doesn't give you a dewy finish. I would stay away from dewy finishing products because you want to look glowy, but you don't want to look oily. And if you have oily skin and you try to mix the two, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Trust me. Also, along with learning your moisturizer and stuff, I would suggest that just investing in your skin, figuring out a good skincare regimen. Now, everyone can't be like, okay, I'm going to go to a dermatologist or I'm going to go to an esthetician. But I will say, I would suggest it's just building a routine, getting your skin in a routine, like to know that, okay, I'm going to get washed, I'm going to have a toner, and I'm going to get a moisturizer. So your skin will get used to it, and it will understand that, okay, I don't have to keep producing oil or produce as much oil, because I know I'm getting moisture. I know, in a few hours, moisture is going to be coming and being put back into me in a couple of hours, so I don't have to, like, oh my gosh, it feels dry, and push that moisture out. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel, and you guys just don't know how much I would appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Like, what are you doing? If you're watching my videos, if you're liking them, but you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that. I would really appreciate that. Go ahead and subscribe to the video. Make sure you are turning on your notification bell because my videos go up on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I want you to get notified when they go up. So go ahead and do that. Also, go ahead and leave me a comment below. I would love to know if you have any questions, any makeup related questions that I can be of service to. I can help you figure out some little makeup, you know, like things like, oh, I've come up against this and I don't know why this is happening. Leave it down below. I will chat with you in the comments so we can talk about it. Who knows, maybe I'll even make a dedicated video for you. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.